Hello everyone and welcome to another video with me, Umberrays, and today we're taking a little bit at some global news as well as some JP news in a combined video because it's kind of hard to find time to do all the recording I need to do. Lately also I've had a few ideas for things that I want to do. Nothing is set right now, and I even need to download something on my phone for another video later. Matter of fact, I'll tease you right now by doing it on screen. Nah, I won't. But anyway, let's get some music going and talk about the news. Starting with Global today. Global has a new banner coming, which shouldn't be a surprise. It's about that time of the week. And who is it going to be other than Final Fantasy IV? It looks like Dark Mage Golbez is coming to the global side. And I wanted to actually bring up the JP unit list to figure out where exactly he was in terms of, being released. Like back here, there we have the Xenogears, which was supposed to be released around Final Fantasy X, before Ignis, obviously. Insert joke about Global being a different game. Nagi and Yigo has been skipped so far. And after that, we were on to that banner, which was just slightly before the Axstar banner. So you're probably getting very, very close, providing that Gummy doesn't screw with the schedule. And Axstar is like a video I want to make that is separate from this video, because this video I just want to talk about Dark Mage Golbez. At this point, looking at his preemptive data, let's just scroll down. He will get a global upgrade, which is a little bit interesting. Let's see where that is. Why it doesn't look like anywhere. It seems like he does get a global upgrade, but I don't see the listing of the global upgrade. Let me take one more look to make sure that I'm not, just blind. Must be some power passives in his kit, I'm guessing. I'm only making educated guesses. I'm not going to comment on unofficial data from unofficial sources. We're just here to talk about the official data. So let's talk about some of the units that came around Golbez and basically what they mean for and against Golbez from what we on the global side, or on the JP side, experience. First of all, when Golbez came out, he was not a particularly overly exciting mage. Ellie was still very much in her prime. Maria was somewhere behind her. Ultima was also there. Global has had a few benefits, obviously, with Ultima and Ellie, to the point where I feel like unless Golbez gets a big boost, he's not going to be super relevant. And also, if there are some things to note that are coming around the time, besides Axstar, because yes, Axstar is coming. I know a lot of people are excited for Axstar. Axstar is still pretty good. Not as good as Esther, but still. Continuing on is Primrose. She came relatively shortly after. I'll be incredibly surprised if Rico comes to the global side, because she has just, as far as I know, the manga has not made its way overseas yet. But Aerith is another banner that is coming up shortly after, and Yuffie is another banner that is coming up shortly after. Shortly in enough quotations that it kills everybody else watching this video, but it's a lot of quotations. But Yuffie was about the time when Fixed Dice died, and Aerith is particularly a top-grade healer, so both of them are banners to remember to potentially save some resources, as well as Primrose. But let's talk about Golbez, because Golbez, I'm only going to refer to him as what he meant for on the JP side, and I went for Golbez because I had not gotten Maria. I did have Ellie at the time, and I was looking at Golbez as just being kind of this, other interesting unit that covered a lot of elemental stuff. But more than anything, I thought one of the most exciting things about him was his TMR and Super TMR. Super TMR is a heavy armor with 100 magic, 45 defense, and 50% darkness resistance. The dark resistance is pretty big on it. It's not exactly a great defensive item, but for a mage, it's not bad either. It's a really strong armor for magic. In terms of what it has meant on the JP side for how good this is, Yeah, it's been okay. I don't. It hasn't been outstanding, considering that I have his super TMR. It's not something that I've found has really helped me all that much. Mages have very much geared away from the heavy armor, and the only thing that I think will save this armor being like truly relevant, first of all, is if you're a fan of Exdeath, because Exdeath can use this armor particularly nicely as well. And if there are any hybrids on the global side that really can take advantage of this armor, obviously this is a big boost to magic on a hybrid. So if a hybrid can equip a heavy armor, and I don't think Aurora Fravia can, so that was the only one that I could really think of off the top of my head in the short time before I started recording this video. So yeah, I'm not overly excited about, like, his super TMR wasn't exactly the biggest deal, and still is not the biggest deal. Looking at his TMR is plenty good. 40% magic plus 20% Esper stats. Considering how strong Bahamut as well as some of the other mage 3-star Espers can be when you start maxing them out, 20% Esper stats is great. A lot of mages in the future really hit that 300% magic cap incredibly easy. So having this that gives Esper stats is a really nice TMR to have. Looking at Golbez too, I mean, he gets some, like, in particular, I really like some of the particular, like, design of his kit, with mainly the elemental attacks he has that have different, related to the 4 fiends, and I think that's a really good tie-in. Whether it's elemental status or, just healing with the power of fire, wind giving some damage reduction, which I think it's magic damage reduction, but don't quote me on that. It's some type of damage reduction. And water just being a chance to stone the enemy. I think it's petrify the enemy, if you prefer another way of saying that. I really like Golbez in terms of a lot of things that he has in his kit. His big dark magic attacks, dark chaos wave chaining was pretty good at the time. And I really like, his holy 60 hit big burst attack. Even though it was locked behind a pretty long cooldown, it's still a really cool magic attack to have. And that's kind of the way I feel about Golbez. Golbez was a very interesting mage in terms of design, but looking at the future on the JP side, everything went straight Chaos Wave. Everything went straight to Chaos Wave, like almost after Golbez. And that put Golbez in this awkward spot where trying to find a chainer with him was just not super easy. It's not impossible either. But it was a little disappointing that, we didn't see more mages that were a little more varied. And we just kind of ended up getting repeats after. Also, a ton of other mages have access to, regular quadricasting, which is a really big thing that separates it. Mages, I think it's always nice if your mages have access to triple or quadricasting regularly at the same time, because then you can just match up properly to get some good chaining in there with magic. I mean, like, honestly, like 8 hits, 12 hits, the earth ones obviously aren't that great, but there even has some cool summon-based attacks, and all of that fits really well thematically with Golbez. But if you've already got Ellie, if you've already got Maria, this is a unit that's forever going to be in the summon pool, and you'll probably get, a couple copies of him eventually. He's really, really cool. Also, just to show off, because, we got him, might as well show off that Limit Burst animation, which is really cool. Love the Shadow Dragon, of course. But yeah, Golbez is not a mage that you definitely need to rush out for, but if you do get a copy of him, the TMR, the Super TMR is all good. Looking at the Step Up banner too, it's not overly exciting. It just seems to be raid ups, and in the slow world of moving towards more guarantees, I feel like this is a really easy pass. To also note, it seems like Global will not get the 5-star version of Rubicon, which isn't really surprising. Rubicon, as much as, like, Rubicon has a particularly really nice super TMR with 80% magic and the fire resistance on it, and a fairly nice accessory with, you know, some decent survivability for mages in terms of elemental resistance and a boost in spirit, but it was, like, if you not having the Rubicon is not any kind of a big deal. So, yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on the global side. Obviously, it depends on what the official data says about Rubicon, but so far, not impressed, on the global upgrade to Golbez, but I'm not particularly excited about it, so just keep on going, global. Aerith is coming, Yuffie is coming. Yuffie, the unit that actually completely destroys fixed dice for the game, because she's just so damn good with it. And after that, of course, Axstar will be in there too, and I think Axstar's already been pretty much confirmed for May. So you're almost there, Global, you're almost there, but if you already have Esther, then you're probably skipping that, so just go for Aerith. She's a great healer. So that's a bit of that, but now I want to talk about the JP news, because in all the news lately about the official information being the only thing we should trust, JP had a little bit of an interesting point. In the more recent live stream, the live stream happened after the data, like after maintenance, basically meaning that everybody on the JP side had already data mined everything, almost everything that was in the live stream update. So we knew about Noctis, we knew about all of that. And they talked about it all on live stream and all of that, but I want to talk about the official sources and how unreliable they can be. Because JP is normally very, very good about posting the news in-game. That includes all news from brand new banners to, like, just anything that you really need to know is posted in-game usually. And to be fair, they did talk about stuff on the live stream. To be fair as well to the other side, not everybody watches the live streams, and perhaps they didn't get the info from, you know, YouTube sources who have been, I don't know, a little bit, well, not so much on the JP side, but the interesting thing here is that today, finally, one day before the Final Fantasy 15 banner started, and I am going to admit this is a huge time in Japan right now. If you're not aware, the current emperor in Japan is stepping down. This is one of the biggest holidays ever, a almost 10-day holiday for most people as we begin a brand new era in Japan, and that is really big. However, to be fair again to the other side, this is a digital era. Don't tell me that Alum couldn't just set the news in game to be posted 2 days early, or couldn't have just put it in the game directly after the live stream. So yeah, I'm a little less okay with it, and to talk about how a little bit less okay I am with it, I want to talk about this, the in-game news. First of all, yes, talks about the event, talks about the Mog King, you know, what bonus units, that would have been nice to know 2 days earlier. We got some information here about Noctis, that's pretty cool, goes over a little bit of details about the new Prince CG unit. Oh, Lapis Sale, that's fine by me. I guess some people want to spend on this game, they can get a discount. Oh, Golden Week discounts, special banners, all of this crap. Okay, alright. Golden Week campaigns. Wait a second. Go back to that Noctis post for a second. Where's the step up? And this is just calling Alum out on a little bit of BS. We always get some kind of in-game post that shows not only a CG unit, but also about their step-up. But the step-up is nowhere to be seen on here, and I have a feeling that I know why. If you know, the step-up banner currently on the JP side, also we can get rid of that global stuff for now. The step-up on the JP side has famously a 5 step up with a rainbow on step 1, step 3, which are random rainbows, they can be anything, fine. But going on to step 5, you are guaranteed either a Prince Noctis or a King Rain. And this is one of the things that I think is why Alum is not posting this in the game, which, look, if you're going to do something shitty, at least fess up and own up to it. Taking a look at the bonus units in the game, King Rain is not on this bonus unit list at all. And this is probably the really shitty thing. Well, this is the shitty thing that I have a problem with. King Rain is on that banner to decrease your chances of Noctis. He already had his own banner at the time, and while it's nice to get another chance at Summon Festival units, yeah, I'm being fair here, King Rain does not offer a bonus to the Mog King, which just feels kind of shitty. Yes, there are a lot of old bonus units that give 100% even, like Ignis, Gladio, I was almost going to say some other name other than I think Gladio's name. And Prompto, all of them give 100%, as well as Gentiana, a free unit, will give 200%. But given the way that they've done this banner, basically they've split the odds of getting Prince Noctis, a already Summon Fest unit that is already hard enough to get in the game. I've already talked many times why I think that Summon Fest units are just too difficult to get. And for people who were really hoping or waiting for this new version of Noctis, yeah, there's kind of a reason to be hype about Noctis. His TMR is pretty cool for the future of hybrids. Also, he is Regina 2.0. Regina, who is one of the biggest damage-dealing units on the JP side for a long time, barring true dual-wield Cid. But still, this makes it unbelievably more difficult to get Noctis by just splitting the banner, and not even splitting the banner with a unit that is from the same franchise. I mean, you could have put Luna there instead, but I have a feeling that Luna was pushed back to the raid, possibly with Arden, because why not? Why not just split the banner on a CG on a character that most people have wanted? And Noctis back in the day was a character that a lot of people wailed for, both on the JP and the global side. I gotta say, it feels like a really shitty move, and it feels like Alum is trying to sweep the poop under the rug. But let me tell you, something still really stinks about this banner. And it's probably the worst banner, but it's gonna force JP players into a bad spot. Regina was hugely impactful at the time that she came out, and Noctis, besides being a character that people like and people will want, he is a new version of Regina that has human killer, to say the least. He also has other types of killers too, but human killer is huge, especially because just putting that on a Regina-based character should be insanely strong. So yeah, Noctis is a character that particularly annoys me for a whole bunch of reasons in the game. But more just because of his summon banner. And whatever, say I'm complaining about stuff, that I'm just not offering any insight. But the insight to this is very simple. Either make King Rain a bonus unit for the Mog King, so people who get him can still get a decent bonus to farm out this event. Or the other thing is, just don't put King Rain on here. It also feels a little bit lame for one other reason. And I know why they're choosing the regular versions of characters, such as Noctis. We're getting a Prince Noctis who looks just like the other Noctis. The big reason that we're getting this is because the Dissidia model characters seem to be the things that are chosen for the CG units, which is why we didn't get King Noctis. But also, I just want to say, thematically, flavor-wise, on this banner, and yeah, I did just talk about flavor on a banner, putting Prince Noctis and King Rain feels like such a slight against Noct for whatever reason. Maybe somebody was annoyed that FFBE characters are not the central focus of what most people want in the game. I don't know, it's all hypothetical, but either way, I really don't like the JP banner, and I really don't like Alum's approach to it. Holiday or not, Alum knows this banner is a shit move. Anyway, you guys, so that's basically all for this video, and I will talk to you all next time. See ya.